Stop me if you think you've heard this one before. You remember back, I don't know, a couple years back, there was this lady, some of you may have heard of her, Hillary Clinton. She was running for office and she had this tagline, "Stronger Together." And the Brock trolls would run around telling everybody to unite while simultaneously infiltrating the Bernie Sanders social media pages and flooding social media with propaganda and garbage that was absolutely the most divisive of them all. Do you remember this horrible shit? Well, think no further. We're already there, folks, and we're only in a primary right now. And we got George Takei, who many of us have probably really enjoyed his tweets over the years. But George is another one of these typical vote blue no matter who people that don't really care about progress. They support non-progressive. They support corporate Dems. They support people that are not actually advancing programs that help the least of us. They support programs that really, at the end of the day, don't help anyone but their own little pocketbooks, because these rich people don't give a flying F about the regular people. But what happens is they co-opt something so important. They co-opt something that is incredibly important. That is the idea of hope, the idea of unity, the idea of winning. And you see, when you come out there and you say, if we can just unite, we can win. Win what? Win what? I want to be clear. I still have jockey marks from many of the Dem Enter people from back during the prior election who went around and trashed everyone who was either Dem Exit or who had supported Jill Stein or who had said to write Bernie in or who just simply refused to support Hillary Rodham Clinton. That never stopped. In fact, we're still feeling the effects of these same evil people who sat there and called people that were supporting Tulsi Russian trolls, Russian agents, Russian bots, trolls from Macedonia. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Anybody know what I'm talking about? These sociopaths, and folks, they are sociopaths because they're immune to facts. They're immune to information. And they attacked. I mean, I remember one particular gentleman who will remain nameless that not only attacked Movement for a People's Party, but draft Bernie for a People's Party, but also then attacked Progressive Independent Party, and then attacked the Green Party, and attacked any third-party effort whatsoever to unite progressives. And really, really, really went after them constantly. Went after organizations such as Real Progressives. And these individuals did this with disdain, and then they would have their own little Facebook groups where they would prevent our posts from going. They would prevent our work from going. They would prevent anyone at all who had a different message than Dem Enter. And then they accused us of everything under the sun, many of whom, I hate to say this, were once at some time burners. Now, folks, it's not even the first primary yet, and we've already got George Takei telling everyone about unity and hope while simultaneously fighting against Bernie Sanders himself. I'm dead serious. Now, we had Bernie or bust back in the last election, and bust it was. And you got Trump. The Democratic Party put their thumb on the scales and said, fuck you to democracy. Fuck you to all those activists, all those people that had worked the streets trying to get Bernie Sanders elected, said, fuck you to them. States where Bernie won, the superdelegates still threw their votes to Hillary. That's how fucked up the Democratic Party is. And they're already saying unity, purity tests lose elections. Now, this son of a bitch, George, has a couple $1 million in the bank. He can talk about anything he wants. He can say anything he wants at this point, and it won't much matter. But the people who are fighting for purity, they want health care. They want their student debt, that noose around their neck, removed. They want to end usury, and they want to see a Green New Deal. Those purity testers out there, they're not just purity testing, they're fighting for something that matters. And these parasites, these folks that ran around as Dem Enter, yelling and screaming at anybody who had an idea other than just to vote for Hillary, they're cropping their ugly, disgusting mouths up again. And you know something? I don't blame anybody for doing what they feel is right. But these sons of bitches, they would rather put a pillow on the face of the suffering than listen to the economics that saves lives. In fact, many of these parasites called MMT occult. Many of these parasites are why Donald Trump is in office. Because people got so disgusted with them that they either checked out and didn't vote, they voted for Trump, or they voted for Jill Stein, or they wrote Bernie in. But they got so disgusted with these parasites chasing them around, calling them Russian agents, Putin sympathizers. What do you want, Trump? What do you want, Trump? No, I don't want fucking Trump. No one wants Trump. No one wants that. What they don't want, though, is another Democrat, another corporate stooge that does everything a Republican does anyway. Except instead of seeing these losers chase after the bad guys, if a Democrat that's just like the Republicans gets elected, these parasites go back to sleep. They go back to sleep. They have brunch. They have their Tetley tea. They have their quad venti skinny mocha. They're not fighting for you and me. They just want to go to a party, man. A protest? That's not a protest. That's an opportunity to hang out with friends. Folks, they look at these events as opportunities to buy t-shirts. This is not people that genuinely are fighting for meaningful change. They're grifters. They're folks that have no compass whatsoever. And those who do, they call purity testers. People that know exactly what they're fighting for are suddenly purity minded. They're not unity minded, they're purity minded. See, the only votes that matter to these parasites are the ones that unite with what they think is right. But if you fight and you choose another path, well then, damn it, you're a Russian bot. You're a Putin puppet. The red baiting that these parasites did with the Russian scare and all the other bullshit is so overwhelmingly disgusting. I can't put words to it. But as we are not even into the first primary, we got purity testing George. Folks, don't let it happen again. I was riding down the road with someone who is just a regular rank and file, vote blue no matter who Democrat. And she says, I don't know why you Bernie people won't support the other Democrats. If Bernie gets the nomination, I'll vote for him. I said, well, good. Then let's make sure Bernie gets the nomination because I won't vote for a corporate Democrat. I won't vote for a neoliberal. I know enough about this shit that I won't do it. See, it's painful to value the world enough that you do the homework and you learn what neoliberalism does and you make a principled stand, that parasites that refuse to do the homework will chastise you for purity. Lazy sloths that don't do the homework dare call you something other than Wow, I wish I would have done my homework. No, no, no. They got things to say. They got words to say. They got fucking smear tactics. They'll wreck your life. They'll come after you personally and try and destroy you because that's what a parasite does. It eats you from within. We know what we're fighting for. Folks, this isn't some game. If Bernie wasn't the nominee and Bernie wasn't running and somebody ran with his platform, I would vote for them, especially if they had 40 years of track record to prove what they were fighting for. I would vote for them. But I'm not voting for somebody who's a neoliberal. It's not happening. So get ready. I don't know whether we're going to be called something different like Brazilian bots or what's the new flavor of the day these people will use. Are we still going to be Putin puppets going into this one if they screw Bernie out of the election? What do you think the latest label will be? What do you think these parasites will call you? Think about it. Let's come up. Let's do a drinking game. I don't drink. But let's find some new drinking game to figure out what kind of nickname they're going to give people with principles and honor and a compass. They know where true north is, and they don't sit there and waver because they have no political pulse whatsoever. They have no value system other than how do they stay in the limelight. Now, I remember the jockey marks. I remember the cool kids running around beating everybody up about real progressives, saying, oh, I'm not Green Party. I'm not nothing. I am a burner through and through. I'm a progressive more than anything. I'm a real progressive. And I actually understand economics. So I'm not going to go for somebody that doesn't understand economics. If somebody supports PAYGO, who would be dumb enough to support someone that supports PAYGO? Someone that doesn't understand economics, clearly. I won't support anyone that wants to reduce the deficit. Who would support someone that wants to reduce the deficit? Someone who clearly doesn't understand economics, obviously. Who would support someone against a Green New Deal? Someone that doesn't understand what the Green New Deal is about and obviously doesn't understand economics. Who would fight against a job guarantee? Someone that doesn't understand economics, especially macro. Who wouldn't understand macro? Lazy people or people that don't want to learn it. But those that do, somehow or another, they got to dumb themselves down so that they're not considered Russian bots or Putin puppets or whatever ridiculous slur these people will pull out of their ass. No, 2020 is a different year, my friends. This 2019, 2020, now, there is no way in hell we're going to let them tear us down. We are going for it because there's too much at stake. We can't get there through a corporate. We can't. We got real life climate issues cracking down on us. We got people in worse shape than they've ever been, suffering. And we've got more student debt pouring down on us than ever before. The next financial crisis is right around the corner. You don't want a neoliberal or an idiot that doesn't understand economics in that White House. You don't want them anywhere near the White House. You need someone that actually understands modern monetary theory and that has modern monetary theory economists backing them. Because otherwise, when the next recession hits, the suicides and the death, they're on the people that chose to do otherwise. And I'm not pulling any punches. I'm putting the finger right on them. Too much is at stake to screw this up, my friends. And tell George to go fuck himself. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progress in Action. Have a great night. I'm out.